Hey everybody, how's it going? Uh, hold on. Look at these glasses. Okay, that's a little bit better. If you've been anywhere recently, a hospital, dentist, you've probably seen people like that. But why are they dressed that way? Why are they wearing so many masks and the face shield? Especially when things like this happen. I'm sure all the people that wear glasses know what I'm talking about. But anyways, the government. First they tell us you need to not go out and buy masks, not go out and wear them because they don't really work that well. Now, you can't go anywhere without one. So what changed? Somewhere along the way, it also got politically charged. So today I want to break it down. And to do that, we're going to have to go small, like really small, microscopically, and see what the physics tell us. Because you can always solve problems using science. Let's take a look. This is the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. You've probably seen this image before. It shows the basic structure of the virus, but what about its size? Here is a comparison of different sizes of disease transmission particles. COVID usually travels on droplets, ranging from about 10 to 100 nanometers, so the two circles on the right. Aerosol, on the other hand, is considerably smaller than droplets, somewhere in between the dot on the left and the circle in the middle. Now, you would never see a single strand of COVID transmit disease, but the comparison is really cool. The actual diameter of viruses like COVID are about 20 to 400 nanometers. That would be thousands of times smaller than the dot all the way to the left. A coronavirus would be to a droplet like a basketball would be to a skyscraper. Each of these objects travel much differently from one another. Droplets have been shown to travel only less than 3 feet in non-moving air. Aerosol, which are smaller, so small that they even become almost lighter than air, can travel long distances and stay in the air for hours. So, what do masks do against this onslaught? Medical engineers studied viral and bacterial droplet and aerosol motion and came up with 3 main options: surgical masks, N95 masks, and face shields. Here we have 2 types of masks and 3 sizes of transmission particles. Surgical mask being on top and N95 being on the bottom. Surgical masks contain multiple layers of cloth made up of a specific material with a very tight knit. These masks work very well against large particles, such as droplets. Large particles carry momentum and either hit the material and get trapped or bounce off. Medium particles may make it inside, but the multiple layers have a good chance of hitting the particle and catching it, or sending it back out. It's the small particles that surgical masks have trouble with. At the scale of a few microns, the particles stop acting like balls and start acting like magnets. This is where N95 masks come into play. They are statically charged and can attract small particles, getting them to stick to the fibers. Tackling these smaller particles also requires a tight fit. This is why N95s conform more to the face. Now, researchers know all of this, but they wanted to figure out how masks would work in the real world and get some data. So they did what scientists do and conducted some studies. Studies were done all over the world, and healthcare workers were asked to wear either surgical or N95 masks. And they found that they work pretty well, around 70% effective. Now, N95s are supposed to block 95% of particles, which is true, but that doesn't mean that you're 95% likely to not contract coronavirus. It's more than just a particle. It's in the air as aerosol and as droplets. Now notice that I said both were 70% effective? Wouldn't N95s be at least a little bit more effective? The answer is up in the air. Not metaphorically, but physically. The air is moving around, going through central air systems, air conditioning, and so aerosol moves around with it. And it's more likely to stick to a wall or a surface than to go in your mouth. That leaves droplets, which are pretty large on a microscopic scale. And both surgical and N95s are good at stopping those. So what's the final verdict? Wear a mask. They work. If not for yourself, then for me or those around you. They don't work because of complicated medical science, but because of phenomena that we see every day. A ball bouncing off of a surface or a magnet sticking to a fridge. So think of it next time you go out. Try and take a surgical with you or another multi-layered cloth mask. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Make sure to like and subscribe down below and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one.